What happens when a father who has faced prison, public scrutiny, and decades in the spotlight finally admits that the hardest battle of his life isn't in the streets or the studio, but at home? That's the question many fans are asking after T.I. spoke out emotionally about what just happened to his son, King Harris. Known for his confidence, his sharp words, and his unshakable presence, T.I. has built a career on strength. But this time, the tone was different. This time, it wasn't about music, business, or even controversy surrounding himself. It was about his son, and the visible weight of a father trying to reach his child. For years, fans have watched T.I. evolve from a chart-topping rapper into a businessman, activist, and outspoken family man. He has never shied away from speaking publicly about fatherhood. In interviews and on social media, he has often made it clear that being a parent is one of the roles he takes most seriously. But parenting in private is one thing. Parenting in front of millions is something else entirely. King Harris, growing up as the son of a hip-hop legend, has never had the luxury of anonymity. Every move is analyzed. Every post is dissected. Every mistake risks becoming a headline. And when the recent situation involving King began circulating online, it didn't just spark commentary, it ignited a wave of public judgment. Clips spread quickly. Opinions formed instantly. And before long, the conversation wasn't just about a young man finding his way, it became about legacy, discipline, and whether the son of T.I. was living up to expectations. When T.I. finally addressed the situation, viewers noticed something immediately. He wasn't speaking from a place of anger. He wasn't delivering one of his usual confident, commanding monologues. Instead, there was visible emotion. His voice carried a mix of frustration, concern, and something deeper, disappointment wrapped in love. He spoke about accountability. He spoke about choices. But more than anything, he spoke like a father who understands that the world can be unforgiving, especially to young black men in the spotlight. His words weren't about protecting an image. They were about protecting his son from consequences that could alter the trajectory of his life. There's a moment in his response that stood out to many viewers. It wasn't just what he said, it was how he paused. The hesitation. The careful selection of words. The expression that suggested this wasn't simply a public statement, but a personal reckoning. Fans who are used to seeing T.I. in control saw vulnerability instead. And that vulnerability changed the conversation. Some supporters praised him for being transparent. They saw a father doing his best in a difficult situation. Others questioned whether the situation should have been handled privately. Social media quickly split into camps. One side argued that tough love is necessary, especially when the stakes are high. The other side felt that public commentary might add pressure to an already intense situation. But beneath the online debate lies a deeper reality. Raising a child in the shadow of fame is complicated. King Harris isn't just navigating young adulthood. He's doing it with cameras metaphorically pointed in his direction at all times. Every action is compared to his father's legacy. Every misstep becomes a reflection not only on him, but on his family name. That kind of pressure can be suffocating. T.I. acknowledged this in his remarks. He reflected on his own upbringing, the lessons he learned the hard way, the environment that shaped him, the consequences he faced. There was an undertone of "I've been there" mixed with "I don't want you to go through what I went through." That tension, between understanding rebellion and fearing its outcome, is something many parents can relate to, even outside of celebrity culture. What makes this moment particularly powerful is that T.I. has always projected strength. He has weathered legal battles, industry politics, and public controversies. Yet here he was, confronting something far more personal. The realization that no amount of fame or wisdom can fully shield a child from making their own choices. He didn't deny that King must take responsibility. In fact, he emphasized it. But he also made it clear that love remains constant. That even in disappointment, there is support. Even in frustration, there is protection. That balance, between holding someone accountable and refusing to abandon them, is delicate. And it's even more delicate when millions of people are watching. The public reaction continued to grow. Some fans shared their own experiences of generational conflict. Others pointed out how common it is for children to push boundaries, especially when trying to step out of a powerful parent's shadow. There were conversations about identity, about how difficult it can be to establish your own name when your last name already carries weight. In many ways, this moment transcended celebrity gossip. It became a mirror reflecting broader issues: masculinity, fatherhood, pride, ego, growth, and the universal fear parents have of losing their children to poor decisions. What stood out most wasn't drama. It was humanity. T.I. didn't present himself as a perfect father. He didn't claim to have all the answers. Instead, he acknowledged the complexity of the situation. He recognized that guidance doesn't always guarantee obedience. That wisdom offered isn't always wisdom accepted. And that sometimes, the hardest lesson a parent must learn is how to let go enough for a child to learn on their own, without letting go completely. For King Harris, this moment could become a turning point. Public scrutiny can either harden someone or humble them. It can push someone deeper into defiance or inspire growth. The direction often depends on reflection and support. For T.I., this may mark a new chapter in how he navigates fatherhood publicly. Vulnerability, especially from men in positions of authority, can be transformative. It shifts the narrative from dominance to dialogue. And perhaps that's what makes this story so compelling. It's not about scandal. It's not about headlines. It's about a father who, despite wealth and fame, faces the same emotional uncertainty that countless parents experience behind closed doors. The difference is that his struggle unfolds under public lights. As the dust begins to settle, one question lingers. What happens next? Will this moment strengthen their bond? Will it spark deeper conversations behind the scenes? Will it inspire King to carve out his path with greater awareness? Or will it become just another chapter in a long, complicated journey toward independence? No one outside their family can fully answer that. But what we witnessed was real, a rare glimpse of a man known for confidence allowing the world to see concern. And maybe that's why so many people are still talking about it. Because beneath the fame, beneath the music, beneath the commentary, there is something universally relatable. A parent wanting better for their child. A father hoping his son listens before life teaches harsher lessons. In the end, this isn't just about what happened. It's about what it revealed. It revealed that even icons feel helpless at times. That even strong voices can tremble when speaking about their children. And that love, especially parental love, often shows up not as perfection, but as persistence.